stand by for track orders. Copy that, dispatcher. We'll get up and running. Out. Dispatcher here. You're cleared onto the main. Over. Roger that. All clear. Out. Dispatcher, I've got a full tank of fuel. Can I get a green light? Over. Yes, you're good to go. Over. Thank you much. Cleared outbound. Out. Dispatcher here. You are clear and full. Over. Thank you much. Cleared outbound. Out.
Most wives of train collectors do not share their husband's enthusiasm for toy trains. When you see them at train meets, they are usually bored and disinterested. An exception is Ellen Tomasi. She enjoys the trains as much as her husband Steve.
I just fell in love with trains. So I have my own trains besides. He has his trains, I have my trains, we have our trains. For Christmas, he got me a girls' train set, which is, oh, it's so awesome. And the train we run on the top 4x4, that's my train. And I think that's just the cutest thing because in the back of it, when it's got the two little men in it, and then when it's going down the track, you can see the fire burning. I think that's so cool. My favorite is passenger cars. I love passenger cars. First we start out with is we do the one that's underneath the tree. Turn that one on and get that one smoking. And the two tracks that run on the bottom, they're always going opposite directions. And the cool part is we have the tunnel. And they go through the tunnel and then they come out. And sometimes if they're long enough, if we have enough cars on them, you can see the end of it going under the tunnel and the front of it coming out of the tunnel. So it's pretty cool.
Ellen and Steve both worked on the layout and, from the beginning, established specific areas of responsibility.
We usually kind of each have our own job when we're doing our layout. I do the buildings, he puts the track down, then I take over and I start doing the whole building layouts.
This last layout was 6 by 10, and in the corner we mounted our Christmas tree on top of a 4 by 4 piece of plywood But this time we wanted a river, and we had that going through the town. My wife said, "That's enough. I'll take over."
Well, I set up all the houses. He lays out the road, lays it all out on paper for us. And I figure out, okay, now I want all the businesses to sit here. Then I take each of the people and I look at them and see what they're doing, and then I match them up to whatever's going on. Like if I have the newspaper stand, then the little boy has to be leaving the newspaper stand and getting ready to go take his papers. And we got cars, and we have a fire truck, and then I have the firemen, and they're going to a fire, and so everything has to relate to what's going on. I don't just throw it out, I figure it all out. So it's like a real city, a real town, you know.
On this layout, the amount of trains we can operate was 4 independently with TMCC control. The problem with that was I had 2 trains on one track, and one was going faster than the other, and it ran into the back of the first train, and my granddaughter was operating the semaphore signal. And she said, "Grandpa, didn't you see the red signal?" And I said, "Yeah." My grandson yelled at her, "You're supposed to operate the gateman." We had the GP7 Burlington, and we had the 2400 series cars, which are 027. We tried to maintain the integrity of the Lionel catalogs by having each train exactly as it appeared in the catalog, so that anyone who saw the train, they would recognize it right away. We had the 6250 Seaboard NW2, and that train had the orange car with the trucks. It had an orange caboose, and all of these were original. It also had the B&O blue boxcar, the double door. Now, the Lackawanna is a huge engine. It has 2 motors and magnet traction and a horn, and it's so smooth, and I believe it has a lot of torque, and it's pulling a lot of cars. Also, we had the yellow and blue Virginian Trainmaster, and that had the original cars with it also as a freight set. And that engine also has a lot of pulling power and magnet traction and also a horn. New York Central gray lightning stripe F3s were amazing. I always wanted to have those when I was a child. Everybody wanted a Santa Fe, but I wanted the New York Central because I used to travel between New York City and South Bend, Indiana years ago. For the 2245 Texas Special red and white engines came with an A unit and a B unit. It also came with a horn. It had a single motor with magnet traction, but if you just ran the passenger cars, that's actually all you needed. We had the 2046 steam engine, which also is a mighty engine as far as pulling power, and that had the whistling tender and the smoke unit. I think that the die-cast steamers from years ago were amazing because today they are still repairable and they still run well if they're lubricated properly and if they're maintained. I think, in my opinion, I think 50 years from now they'll still be around when a lot of the new electronics disappears. Okay, the 681 Pensy turbine has 20 wheels. That also has magnet traction, a smoke unit, and a whistle. We ran it with the green passenger cars, and that engine really looks nice when you see all the wheels in motion. We ran the GP9 New York Central black engine that had TMCCs, and it also had a flashing strobe light with the new electronic horn, which sounds so realistic you'd think you're at a train station. On the top level, we were running a Pennsylvania 040 steam switcher, which was K-line produced, and that actually belongs to my wife. And that is also TMCC with a whistle tender. We powered the layout this year with ZWs, and also the brand new 80-watt electronic transformer. I could operate the entire layout with just the TMCC. We had 4 trains running at the same time. And that's really nice as long as you have quick fingers to enter all the diesel and steam engine numbers, which you use only 2 numbers, but it gets confusing.
Visitors are amazed at the detail.
They cannot believe that there is so much detail and so much going on. Every one I've done is always different. Nothing's ever the same. The family Christmas tree sits up on the 4x4, and it's decorated with the old-fashioned bubble lights. It's only trains and angels. Angels is my stuff and the trains is his. So that's how it's all decorated.
Christmas is coming. The only thing I can think of in my mind is Lionel trains. Years ago, Lionel did a lot of merchandising in stores. If there was a huge store somewhere, Macy's or Gimbel's, or even a smaller store, SS Kresge's, everyone had a train layout. And whenever you went shopping with your parents, that's the first place you went. You know, Santa took second seat to seeing the layout. Christmas, flexible flyer sleds, all of the things from the past. Schwinn bicycles, they're all gone, but they're still in our memories.